I started journaling when I was 15 years old. So I've basically been doing this for more than half of my life now. In this video, I'm going to talk about the benefits I experienced from that practice. I will tell you what I learned about myself as well as what I learned about journaling itself. So there actually are a bunch of benefits I experienced over the years. The first and probably one of the most impactful ones is that it kind of was like therapy to me. I started journaling when I was 15 years old, and at that time I was in a pretty dark place. I suffered from depression and I felt lonely and sad a lot, and just writing about my feelings and writing down my thoughts on paper helped me to process all of this and ultimately to dig me out of a hole. And ever since, I've gone on with this practice pretty much every single day, just because it helps me to deal with what I feel and what I think. And it also brings some order into my sometimes pretty chaotic mind. Essentially, journaling helps me to gain control over what I do. And when I don't do it regularly, I basically feel like I lose control of basically everything in my life. And so through journaling every single evening, I basically keep myself on track. Also, journaling for me has been proven to be extremely valuable when it comes to solving problems. Whenever I have a problem in my life, the best way to solve it for myself is to basically sit down with a pen and my notebook and write my thoughts down, because that way I kind of externalize them and it's easier for me to process what I'm thinking. It also kind of creates more distance between you and your thoughts. And that helps you to basically make a more sophisticated decision about what you want to do or how to solve a problem, really. And through that practice, I basically have become a pretty good problem solver myself. So if you have a problem, I can really recommend trying to solve it on a page. I also feel like journaling is helping me to relieve stress, because whenever I'm stressed out, most of the time it's because I'm kind of overwhelmed by the world or the things that are happening in my life. And it kind of helps me to get all these thoughts and especially these strong feelings of stress and anxiety out of my system. Overall, journaling just has been an amazing tool for personal growth. And it taught me so much about myself. Through this constant practice of reflecting on my life, on myself, on what I want and what happened to me every single day, and basically trying to find solutions for the problems I have in my life, I feel like I have been improving some little thing basically every single day since I started this practice. So you can imagine that over the course of 17 years, I learned a lot about myself. And I don't want to go into too much detail here because that would be boring to you. But the most important insight probably is that journaling just helps you to get to know yourself better. It's all about self-knowledge, becoming more authentic and understanding how you work, how your psyche works, what you want out of life and what you don't want out of life. You see, one big problem I always had was that I thought I knew what I wanted, but then later on I understood that what I wanted was just basically based on what other people wanted, and all I actually wanted was to be liked by them. So I kind of adapted what they wanted for me, even though deep inside I didn't really want it myself. And that led me to go into directions I shouldn't have been going. And I only uncovered this over the course of many years of self-reflection. For example, journaling also kind of helped me to accept myself. This is a common thing for many people, I think. Many people believe that they just don't fit in a way. And for me, I always had the feeling that something was wrong with me, partially because I'm just an incredibly introverted person, and everyone around me seemed to be so extroverted that I thought, well, what's wrong with me? Why don't I want to party? Why don't I like going to the club? Things like that. And I always had the feeling that I had to hide who I was because I somewhat felt that it wasn't right. And actually people told me that I was weird for not being as outgoing as everybody else. But in the end, journaling helped me to uncover that and finally accept who I am. So not only did I get to know myself better, but I learned to love and accept myself better. And then one more thing I want to mention here, which is pretty important, and I realized through years of journaling, is thoughts just come and go. And constantly externalizing your thoughts on paper helps you to realize that thoughts change, and they change basically every single day. Some of them repeat itself, but they usually depend on your mood or your perspective on life, the situation you are in. So if you have a thought, you don't actually have to identify with it that much, because the thought itself might change tomorrow. And that realization has helped me to become more resilient in life, because I understood that if I had negative thoughts or when I felt especially bad about things, I knew that tomorrow things probably could be totally different, and the thoughts I had about things basically were pretty arbitrary and could change from time to time. It's pretty interesting to go back through my journals from years ago, looking at what I wrote down back then and now having this distance from it. Because funnily enough, some of the thoughts I had back then I'm still having right now, and others are just completely foreign to me. I sometimes feel like I look back at a stranger, and this might sound kind of weird, but essentially I feel like it's a very comforting thought, and it shows you how you are growing as a person. Now, lastly, I want to talk about some of the things I learned about the practice of journaling itself, because I think it might help you to know this. First of all, if you are starting out with journaling, don't pressure yourself to make it this big, enormous practice that takes up hours every single day. Many people believe that they have to sit down for 20 minutes or half an hour every single day to make this work. But really, journaling is not so much about sitting there for a long period of time. In my experience, it's way more about consistency. I myself tend to journal more like 2 to 5 minutes every single evening, and that's way more beneficial than journaling for 20 minutes every once in a while. Also, the great thing about journaling is that there is not one specific way you should do it. You can try different techniques and habits here, and you just have to find the ones that are working best for you, whether it is more of a stream of consciousness thing, whether you like bullet journaling, or if you prefer journals where there are certain questions in there you're answering every single day. It's totally up to you, and you have to find your way, and that's the beauty of it. There's not one right path here. And I personally switch up my technique every now and then, just because I get kind of bored by one technique, or I'm kind of stuck with one technique, and then another one will help me to get loose. And then obviously, as with every other habit, it's helpful to do journaling in the same place at the same time every single day, because that helps you to make it kind of automatic. I, for example, prefer to do it in bed in the evening right before going to sleep, because A, that's the time I can make sure that it happens every single day, and B, I kind of find it helpful to empty my mind right before going to sleep, because that way I don't have to lie wide awake in bed and have to worry about stuff, because I just externalize it on the page. Other people might prefer doing it in the morning or when they are commuting in a train or something. Just experiment with it and you'll find your place in your time for this practice. And lastly, one more thing you can experiment with is the journal you're using itself. There can be a huge difference between the different sizes of journals. There are maybe the different pens you're using, because these will have a big impact on how much fun it actually is to do this for you. I, for example, right now like to use this little notebook right here, that's Pocket Notebook, a lot, because it's so small and I can carry it with me all the time. When a couple of months ago I still used a bigger one, and the problem with that one was that I never really carried it with me. So sometimes when I had some thoughts I wanted to write down, I just couldn't, because I didn't have it with me all the time. And this little notebook solved that for me. It also kind of is less intimidating to fill these little pages in comparison to a bigger one, so that can help as well. So if that was helpful, I'd be glad if you subscribe to the channel to support me. I wish you a very nice day, and I hope to see you very soon. Goodbye.